Hello, welcome back here to Lady Lovestead Reads. My name is Jessica and this is my TBR for October 2025. It's late at night as I'm filming this, Tuesday, September the 30th. Happy birthday to Twilight. It's Twilight's 20th birthday. September 30th is also Wear Orange Day, where you wear orange to remember Indigenous children that were kidnapped into residential schools. So if you don't know the history of that, definitely read up on it a little bit. And I just so happened to notice that with my shirt and my glasses, we are Life of a Showgirl coded here. And I've got a bit of a headache, so I'm not going to be taking my glasses off, even though there's probably a glare from my light. We're just going to make do. My cat Oliver's also being a bit mischievous, so who knows what kind of trouble he's going to get into while I'm filming. You're probably going to hear like bangs and boops and thwacks in the background as I go along. If you're new here, I tend to read books that are either cozy or dark. So because I do read some pretty dark stories, make sure that you check your trigger warnings before picking up any of the books that I talk about. I don't share triggers in my videos because I think that they're spoilery, but if you have any concerns, I recommend using the app Storygraph to check triggers. I have a Discord, which essentially functions as my Patreon. And I always put it in quotes because it's free. You can do everything in my community for free. The Patreon portion is the tip jar. So if you do want to support me financially, the Patreon is a tip jar. And the only thing that a tip will get you that you can't otherwise do is if you leave me a tip in the tip jar on Patreon, you get voting rights for the buddy reads, the watch-alongs, the trilogy-alongs, and so forth. But otherwise you can participate in all of the activities for free. Every month I do a buddy read. This month's Lovestead buddy read focuses on a cozier themed book, and it is Garden to Grave by Ricki Blair. This is the first book in a cozy mystery series. You can get this book for free on Kindle. I am trying to be more mindful about making sure the books that I pick for buddy reads are accessible through a lot of avenues and at low cost for folks, so you're not having to go buy a book, or if you can only read through audio, like making sure you still have access to them on audio platforms and so forth. So I am trying to be more mindful of that as we do these different buddy reads and things. So yeah, for October it's Garden to Grave. This is a cozy mystery and it is garden themed. So the main character, her aunt goes missing and she's been kind of shut away. The main character's been shut away for a while, kind of isolated and antisocial like me. And so when her aunt goes missing, she has to stand in for her aunt's horticultural business. So she becomes the horticulturalist or the gardener and solves a mystery along the way. The description of this one when I read it, it kind of sounds a little dark, but cozy mysteries usually are not like super graphic on page. So hopefully it still fits the cozy theme because we've got an even numbered month. So on the even numbered months, I do cozier books. And then on the odd numbered months, we do the darker books. So hopefully this stays within the cozy category for the folks who like to read the cozy ones with me. We have been doing trilogy-alongs in the Discord as well. And the current trilogy is one that's actually a co-production with my friend Mr. Francy at Mr. Francy Reads. His Discord is called the Sparkle Cafe, very similar to mine. Like, you don't have to pay money to participate in his community. I love the Sparkle Cafe. And we're doing a co-production of both of our Discords are reading the trilogy, The Emergency Dessert Squad by Laura Bradford. This is also a cozy mystery trilogy, and the main character in this one inherits an old vintage ambulance, and she renovates it to be a traveling bakery, and she calls it the Emergency Dessert Squad. So very cute premise, and we read the first one, which was A Claire in Present Danger, in September. In October, we will be reading book 2, which is Silence of the Flans. In the Discord as well, we decided to do an impromptu trilogy along of the Mina and the Undead trilogy by Amy McCaw. This is a young adult horror fantasy kind of thing about vampires. Mina being Mina from Dracula, so it's sort of got a Dracula tie-in there. And our goal with this one is just to kind of go at your own pace and try to have the trilogy finish before October. We started in September and we want to try to have it finished on October. So for me, I'm going to have to actually read all 3 books in October because I never got around to starting book 1 in September. So I was originally going to do book 1 in September and then book 2 and 3 in October, and that didn't happen. So I'll try and get to the series in October. Let's talk about, in that vein, then other carryovers into the month of October. So as I'm filming this here in September, I am currently still reading Nocticadia by Kerri Lake, which is a dark academia, dark romance about this university on Nocticadia Island. And on this island, there's this parasite that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world called Noctisoma. So this student gets a scholarship to go to Nocticadia to study Noctisoma. And they meet a professor there and things happen from there. So I'm still working on finishing that one. I'm like 75% of the way through it though, so I should finish it soon. Otherwise, I don't have any other carryovers because I just finished my audiobook. And the other book that I'm reading with my eyes is just Garfield, like a Garfield bind up, and I'm not too worried about, you know, finishing that or rushing through that or anything like that. Garfield's just a fun little, like, joyful thing for me to read. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for carryovers, is Nocticadia. For my library haul, I actually just renewed all the books that I checked out in September. So I will refer you to my September TBR where I talked about the books that I had checked out from the library because it's the same ones. Didn't get to any of them in September. Hopefully I'll get to 1 or 2 here in October. And then I am going to be participating in a readathon in October. Storm at Storm Reads every year does Hallowtween in October, where you focus on reading middle grade horror or spooky books. And so I have a list of ones that I want to read. So first of all, I want to read a couple Goosebumps books. I've been rereading the Goosebumps series. I think I'm up to number 7 or 8 in The Haunted Mask, not The Haunted Mask, The Ghost Next Door. That's the one I'm up to, is The Ghost Next Door. So the one after that is The Haunted Mask. So those are, hopefully I get through at least those 2. Goosebumps are really short and easy to read, and I listen to them on audio, and so they go really fast. So hopefully I'll be able to get through a couple of those. And then I've been reading the trilogy 13s by Kate Ellis Marshall, and I just have the last book left. So Glassheart is the 3rd book in that one. And in this trilogy, it's a group of kids, and in their town, there's like this curse where 3 13-year-olds go missing at a certain time every year. And so they're trying to figure out why these kids go missing, what's behind it, what happens. And it's a lot of like puzzles, like solving puzzles and solving riddles. And I love that, especially in a middle grade. I really have enjoyed the first 2 in this, and I just need to finish the 3rd one. So I'll get to Glassheart, as long as I can check it out from the library, like other people haven't checked it out. It's on my TBR. Today I checked out from the library on audio. It's called The Pumpkin Princess and the Forever Knight by Stephen Banbury. Where's my phone? Let me look at the description of this. A spooky, heartwarming adventure about one girl's journey into the land of the undead and the unexpected family she finds along the way. Perfect for fans of Nevermore and the hit series Wednesday. Obsessed. I can't wait to start reading this. I think I'm going to read a Goosebumps next on audio, and then I'm going to jump into this one. Sounds amazing. All right, and then for Hallowtween, I also want to continue on with Catherine Arden's Small Spaces series, which is a middle grade horror, obviously. So I read book 1 last year for Hallowtween, and this year I will read book 2, and it's called Dead Voices. I will read what I can that isn't spoilery for the first book. So it says, having survived, spoiler, newly minted best friends Ollie, Coco, and Brian are ready to spend a relaxing winter break skiing together with their parents at Mount Hemlock Resort. But when a snowstorm sets in, causing the power to flicker out and the cold to creep closer and closer, the three are forced to settle for hot chocolate and board games by the fire. They're determined to make the best of being snowed in, but odd things keep happening. Coco is convinced she's seen a ghost, and Ollie is having nightmares about frostbitten girls pleading for help. So that's the basic premise of that one. I really liked Small Spaces, which was the first book. Very spooky, very scary for a middle grade, I thought. Like, that gave me chills as an adult. So looking forward to getting to the second book. Again, assuming that I can check it out from the library and it will be available. I left off a couple books when I filmed yesterday, so adding them in now, but they're all big books. So like basically the big books that I'm reading. Currently reading Nocticadia, which I mentioned. But then I'm going to pick up Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend because I'm doing this buddy read with my friend Sherry. And we've been trying to get this buddy read done for like 5 years. We've been planning this. And that's to read the most recent book in the Nevermore series, which is Silverborn, The Mystery of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. Hollowpox is the third book in this series. I started reading this, I think I read like a chapter. And then I was like, whoa, I need to back up because it's been so long since Hollowpox came out that I had forgotten a lot of the universe and the storyline and the characters and stuff. So I did a reread of the first two, kind of a skim reread, because I actually remember quite a bit of those two books. But Hollowpox, I started it and I was like, I can't skim read that one. I have very little memory of what Hollowpox was about and what happens in it. So I'm going to have to reread that one closely. So after I finish Nocticadia, I will be rereading Hollowpox, which is the big book. And then after Hollowpox, I'm actually going to skip over to Ruin by John Gwynne. So my friend Amy at Amy Harbin and Pages has been hosting a read-along of the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne, and I made it through the first two. They're not my favorite, but they're entertaining, and entertaining enough that I feel kind of hooked into the story now, and I have to know what happens, at least in this next book. So after I finish Hollowpox, I will be picking up Ruin, and then after Ruin, we'll do Silverborn. Okay, and then the last thing I have planned that I would like to get to is a local book club here in my community. Like, I'm gonna try 2 people. I'm gonna try to socialize. Like, I've been trying to get out more and meet more people lately, and so there's a local book club and they are reading Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu, which is a classic vampire story, and it's a pretty short read. And it's also one that a lot of like modern retellings are based on, so I would really like to read this one and hopefully read it in time for book club, which is Monday, I want to say the 13th, so I don't have very long. That might be the next book I read with my eyes then, once I finish my Garfield. So, Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. Those are all the books on the TBR. I'll probably get to other ones outside of that because I mood read. So some other bookish things I'll be doing. We're doing a watch-along in the Discord. We're watching Wednesday. So here in October, we're going to start Season 2, Part 1, which I'm really excited for. I'll be hosting sprints on the Discord on Saturday, October 11th, starting at noon Central Standard Time, which is Chicago time. Anything else? I think that pretty much covers it for Bookternet related plans. If you're enjoying my content, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're feeling really at home here, definitely join the Discord. We would love to have you. And let me know in the comments down below what's one book you're like really excited to get to in the month of October. I'm actually really looking forward to The Silence of the Flans by Laura Bradford because I very much enjoyed that first book last month. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. I think of all the ones on this list, probably just based on my mood in this present moment. But yeah, let me know which book or movie or activity you're most looking forward to in the month of October. If you just want to leave me an emoji and let me know that you're here, go ahead and leave me anything vampire related, since it is the 20th anniversary of Twilight tonight and we've got a couple of vampire themed books on the list here. So a blood drop, the actual vampire symbol, I don't know, is there like a clove of garlic, anything vampire-y. And until next time, make sure that you continue to read good books, drink good coffee, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye!